Why did General Yakubu Gowon refuse to implement the agreement of Aburi Accord of January 1967 that he initially agreed that he was going to enforce? Why didn't he enforce them? Now, I'm going to play you a video from both key actors, one from Ojukwu and the other from Gowon. Let's listen to them. You might have seen this video, but just hold on. I want to bring something to your notice or to your attention.
Fact was that our case was so clear that I actually believed at the end of Aburi that the problem was not Gowon, but probably some ambassadors in Lagos who were pressing for something else. Because we understood each other. We agreed on every single point. The drafting was, in fact, my chief secretary with two other chief secretaries from the other side. They said, no, no, no. And drafted and agreed. We looked at it, we agreed. General Ankara read over the whole report again to us at the end. Asked us if we wanted to amend anything. No. At the end of all that, the position was so good that actually Ankara drove Jack Gowon and myself to the airport.
Now, from General Gowon, let's listen.
When we came back, and Ojukwu did not go to make the statement he made first, virtually giving the impression that we've agreed for a confederation to move apart, etc., which was really not in exactly that. If I had had the opportunity to make my broadcast in the first, because that was the agreement, not for him to make the broadcast first, then if I had committed myself to what he said, then there wouldn't have been any problem. But he went and said certain things that certainly looked wrong, and therefore we saw in practically everything he did. I think it was for to play up to the gallery, not being sincere.
Now, you've heard Gowon's part of the story, right? Now, our people said that when you want to determine who is saying the truth, one of the factors of a truthful person is that when he's giving that story years later, it will still be the same. Do you understand? It will not take another, there will not be addition of sugar or whatever. I like to play you another narrative that Gowon gave.
And let's come to the Civil War. You've led the Civil War. Can you tell us the lessons you learned after the war, so that the generations that has not encountered war will understand why it is necessary to maintain peace at all costs?
After the war, after the Civil War, I know what various people went through. But honestly, war is not something that you wanted to do. I was only forced to do it, but not to fight the people, the old people, the pregnant women, children, etc. No, I think it was, I gave instruction to the soldiers. There is an instruction how they are to behave, to look after, to protect the people, the older people, only those who take up arms against them. That was the thing. Now, when you hear the story that we killed 1 million or 2 million or 3 million people, no, not from the soldiers shooting people. It meant they had to go shooting the people right the way through. It is the people that became casualties were the people that Ojukwu and the Eastern government told to run away from these vandals, from these wicked people, from Gowon, the killer, etc. And of course, these people who are running away, and as the area contracted because of our movement, and of course, I think most of people really died of either hunger, diseases, etc. Not really from the federal troops shooting and killing people indiscriminately. It is only those who, took up arms against.
Now, you heard the second narrative, which is clearly different from the first story he gave. The second narrative, he said that he was forced into the war. He was forced to carry out the civil war. Why the first narrative, the first video I played in this video right now, he said that it was Ojukwu was, not truthful. He also said that the agreement was for him to make his broadcast first before Ojukwu, but Ojukwu disobeyed that. You heard all of that. Now, Gowon also said that there are narrative going on that the Nigerian army unalived 2 to 3 million Biafrans. That's Igbo people. That is not true. Gowon said that what he did was that during the war, he gave a clear order to the soldiers, to the Nigerian troops, that they should not unalive or buy any ordinary Easterner, ordinary Igbo man. That it is only the Biafran soldiers who are with arms and ammunition they are to, unalive. That probably the 2 to 3 million people were because of starvation and hunger. That is starvation and hunger and the stampede that Ojukwu told them to run away from the Gowon, the killer. Ojukwu told them to run away from the Nigerian troops, the killer, and on like that. My father, if I need to react to this, can Gowon listen to himself right now? He said he gave an order to his soldiers. You are giving order to soldiers who were already filled with the rage of buying and unaliving every southeastern person. You all recall that a few months back, in July 29, 1966, these same guys who were at the forefront of the war were on the rampage, unaliving every southeastern person in Nigeria, right? These same guys were the one who, plot a coup. They now invited General Gowon. It's not like he was part of them. So he actually cannot control them. These guys were already filled with the rage of deleting every southeastern person. They're not going to listen to you, obviously. So you can't come out to say that, they did not, it was hunger and starvation. That's not it. Your northern soldiers who were filled with the rage and fierceness of unaliving and deleting every southeastern person, you go on now, prepare the ripe opportunity for them to satisfy their urge. You are not giving them a mere order. People that you couldn't control, you couldn't command. And the northern soldiers who actually spearheaded the war was Muhammad Buhari, Sani Abacha, IB Babangida, Tiwa Danjuma, General Jeremiah Husseini, Dinka Oka, name them, Morisala Mohammed, all of them that were so filled up to delete every. You are not saying, you are not. Come, make we not lie, I beg. And then again, if you, to every Igbo man out there, see, no be Fulani or Hausa, now buy your people during civil war. Let's tell ourselves the truth. It was 70% the middle belters. If you check out their origin, 70% of them were from the middle belt of Nigeria. So let's tell ourselves the truth. I'm going to give you the reasons right now. The reasons Gowon did not implement Aburi Accord. Now, before I give you the reasons, he said that starvation, hunger, and stampede unalived 3 million Igbos and Easterners, right? You guys initiated the war. If you Gowon didn't want the war, Ojukwu wouldn't have had any war. So in a nutshell, if there wasn't a war, these guys would have lived their beautiful lives. So how do you say, who caused the stampede? Who caused the hunger? Who caused the starvation? Is it not because of your too much will to control Nigeria at your beck and call? You want to control everybody? You went to announce decree number 8. That was a clear opposite of Aburi's agreements. Now quickly, Gowon said that the reason he did not implement Aburi-Ghana Accord agreement was, number 1, differences in interpretation and misunderstanding of the accord. This is my personal opinion. I don't think that is true. Because this is somebody who went through different phases of education and even schooled in England, a trained military man. As at that time, he was a lieutenant and then catapulted to head of state. And this person is trying to tell us that he didn't understand English language that was spoken in a meeting. So why didn't he object, or why didn't he raise that point? Hey, I'm not understanding what you guys are saying. What is the meaning of this that you said? Even the Ghana general that hosted them in Aburi, Ghana, they also asked at the end of the meeting. Does any one of you have any misunderstanding or any question you need to be clarified on certain points? Nobody raised anything. And now he came back and is telling us that he did not implement the agreement because of differences in interpretation and misunderstanding. Like, wow. Gowon is still alive. You can share this video to him because we sincerely need to hear the truth. The second point Gowon gave was that based on the nature of confederation, he was scared that the regional government will leverage on the nature of confederation to achieve secession. And some of this is my own opinion now. Some of these points would have been, surfaced during the meeting. He kept mute. The third point was pressure from northern leaders. He was honest, yeah. He was honest. Not just northern leaders alone, from foreign powers also. Because if you look at the first video I played, he was a bit younger then, so the agitation was still in him. Now that he's old, he was called to an interview and he said he was forced. Now the truth is coming out. You get it? The next one was legal and constitutional concerns. Some people, some pressure group and social group, as at that time, were pressuring Gowon that no, this Aburi Accord is against the constitution of Nigeria. And to me, this is my own opinion. And as at that time, military government was invoked. So the constitution has been suspended. So I don't understand why the back and forth and the double standard. Let's be truthful to ourselves. The constitution has been suspended. Do you get it? Even at Aburi, they agreed that they were going to appoint civil servants in different civil commissions. Then Gowon came out, when they returned back from Ghana, Gowon came out to release decree number 8 that contradicts that appointment. Anyway, let's continue. The next one is lack of trust, of course. Then the next one was fear of a weak federal government who cannot control the federating unit. He's also true to here because he wants to control the different regions in Nigeria. Do you understand? Now, we're still going to continue on this series. My next video will touch light deeply on the decree number 8 that Gowon concocted up with his northern elders or leaders or people. And I tell you, if you have any concerns, let's have this out. Let everybody know the truth. All these grievances, we must put an end to it. You, a northerner that have resentment or you detest the Igbos, let it end. That's the reason I'm doing all of this. Exposing all the truth. We need to tell those that are wrong to their faces. Do you understand? And until then, I go chichichi, and I go chon chon chon. We know they pray, and I go feel full.